the unknown. So dip inside your soul and dig a little deeper. Unlock the unknown. Discovering the truth will make you feel freer. Like a raging bull gives pain. Mysteries are hurricanes. The truth you seek is unbeknown. Unlock the unknown.
I won't accept it what the skeptics even have to say. They disconnected, redirected, and it's so cliche. So much evidence is building up in our possession. So many elements conclude the answer to this question. From the page of myth to actuality, to unlock the locked door, where's the magic key?
Unlock the unknown. So dip inside your soul and dig a little deeper. Unlock the unknown. Discovering the truth will make you feel freer. Like a raging bull gives pain. These mysteries are hurricanes. The truth you seek is unbeknown. Unlock the unknown.
We have 77 counties in Oklahoma. We put reports in them in 66 counties.
Every tribe has a name for each thing. Cheyenne is massive misstep, which means giant monster.
These are some of the best cast footprints that I've seen in a very, very long time.
North Canadian River Project, we basically focus our investigations on the North Canadian River or Central Oklahoma.
Welcome back to Squatch Ranger Files, another special episode of Bigfoot Interstates and Sasquatch Rest Stops. This is part 2. I want to continue exploring this idea of Bigfoots traveling the river systems, but in this video I want to take a look at something a little bit different. How about the railroad systems? So that's what we're going to look at in this video. Another idea is as they travel the river systems or these railroad systems at night or during the day for their hiding places, they could be finding these old farmhouses, old barns, etc. Also find some canyons, places like that, little nooks and crannies, and they could be hiding in these places also. So in this video we're going to focus on traveling the railroad systems, and then also later on down the railroad system they hook up with some rivers. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So the idea is that the railroad systems can give the Bigfoot a more direct path to where they're traveling. Maybe they could travel a little bit faster than the rivers. They give them more of a straight shot. So if this idea is going to work, they're going to travel at night and they're going to follow the railroad systems as a guide, and during the day they've got to find these spots to hide, like a farmhouse that's abandoned, an old barn, etc. Because they're moving across the plains. They're going to be coming off the Rockies and they're going to be moving through the panhandle of Texas, Oklahoma, down into Arkansas and Louisiana. That's the thought. So let's take a look. So here is our general zone of the Rocky Mountains, and then I'm going to go ahead and circle the southern states. We're looking at eastern Oklahoma, eastern Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana. And how are the Bigfoot going to get from that zone to that zone? By crossing what I'm outlining in yellow, the plains. There's going to be a lot less hiding spots in that area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the very foothills of the Rockies, kind of where the Rockies stop and they meet the plains, and that's kind of the Trinidad, Colorado area. So I'm highlighting that in green. The Bigfoot could go straight east on this railroad system and kind of hook up with the Arkansas River, and then kind of go down to the southern states, Arkansas. Okay, another option, a possibility, could be they start up Trinidad, follow this railroad system to Dalhart, Texas, and then kind of make a turn up northeast and hit the Cimarron River, and then they can go through central Oklahoma, maybe to Stinchcomb Wildlife Refuge in Oklahoma City. Okay, another option is they start at Trinidad and they have this straight shot down to Amarillo, Texas, and then they go back up to the North Canadian River, and that's where they would go to Stinchcombe, Oklahoma City area. And then finally, here's the straight shot I'm trying to talk about. Trinidad, Colorado, straight down to where the railroad system actually intersects with the Red River, and they can go straight over to Arkansas and Louisiana, kind of the Falk area, kind of make their way down there. Here's a satellite view of the Rocky Mountains in the top left-hand corner, and then as you go southeast, you can see how it flattens out, and this is the zone they're going to be crossing. So I'm going to go ahead and measure this zone and see how far they actually have to walk if they travel the railroad system. So I'm going to be measuring from the foothills of the Rockies all the way to Newland, Texas. That is the intersection where the railroad system meets the Red River, and then they can take the Red River on over east to Arkansas and the Falk area. Here is a comparison of a human versus the Bigfoot, their size, the length of their legs. So we're going to be thinking that a Bigfoot can actually walk faster than a human, but I'm going to go ahead and calculate how fast or how long it would take a human to walk this distance. So what I did was I got on Google, and I'm going to use this Google, handy dandy Google measuring tool, and it's going to calculate the distance, a straight shot from Newland, Texas. I'm going to go ahead and zoom into Newland, Texas. You can see where the river meets the highway, and actually along that highway is the railroad system. And I was a little off on getting the exact spot, but that's okay. And so I'm going to go ahead and come over here, northwest over here. We can see on the satellite where the Rockies kind of stop, the boundary right there. Right there. Okay, good. That's about the boundary. There we go. I'm honing in on it. So it looks like it's about, this is just approximate, guys. It doesn't have to be exact. About 253 miles is what I'm going to use. That says 252.785. I'm going to go ahead and round it to 253 miles. I used an online walking calculator or distance calculator, and then it transposes it into how long it would take you to walk that distance. And so we're going to go 253 miles at an average pace of 2.5 miles per hour. Okay, once again, this is kind of a human walking pace. The calculator said 101 hours and 12 minutes. That comes out to 4.208 days to walk, and that's with no elevation factored in. So I went ahead and rounded up to 4.25 days for just an estimate. Okay, this isn't exact science that I'm doing here, guys. This is just all approximate. So what I did was I took the 4.25 days and I added half those days for sleeping, because they are going to have to stop and sleep. So half the time added back for sleeping breaks. That's going to come out to 6.375 days is the exact amount. I'm going to go ahead and round up and say it was 6.5 days, just for an estimate. Okay, because this isn't an exact science that I'm doing here. We're just kind of having fun with this, just kind of thinking about the possibilities of this. Okay, so then what I did was I took the 6.5 days and I added in 4 extra days. Okay, and I just picked 4 out of nowhere, and I'm just factoring in the terrain. Okay, maybe there's going to be some terrain, a little bit, and then some time for hunting for food and eating, and then also for hiding, because guys, they're traveling along the railroad systems, and every once in a while, if they're following the railroad, a train might come, and so they're going to have to, duck down somewhere, or there might be cars on the highway that's next to the railroad, and they're going to have to find hiding places every once in a while. So I just picked 4. So the total amount comes out to 10.5 days. So do you guys, I want to hear your comments. I want to read your comments in the comment box. Do you think that sounds about right? That someone could walk that distance in about 10.5 days? I'd like to hear your comments. That's the number I'm going to go off of. That's the number I'm going to use for the purposes of this video. Okay, here's a satellite image of the Trinidad, Colorado area, all the way down to the Des Moines, New Mexico area, and you can see the mountain systems. And the railroad actually follows these mountain systems through these communities, and I think it makes the most sense that Bigfoot could use the railroad systems in Colorado and going even further northwest. But for this video, we're going to go southeast and kind of travel across the plains. But I'm going to outline the railroad system. Okay, so in your top left-hand corner is Trinidad, Colorado. I'm going to mark that in yellow, and I'm just going to kind of follow the mountain system. Now, this is an exact path of the railroad, but it's very general. Okay, it makes its way down here to Branson, Colorado, and then from Branson to Folsom, it really curves through those mountains. There's a lot of curves, and then it goes down to Des Moines, and then from Des Moines down to Dalhart, Texas is a very straight shot. But I think it makes a lot of sense for the Bigfoot to be able to follow those railroad systems and hide in the mountains as they're going through the mountains and following the railroad system. Now we're just going to assume for the purposes of this video that the Bigfoot can go from Des Moines, New Mexico, the foothills of the Rockies, and they're going to follow the railroad system, the straight shot, and they're going to be able to hide along the way and find farmhouses, abandoned barns. They're going to be hiding in those places, and they can make their way all the way down to the Amarillo area. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on Lake Tanglewood. And so once they make it to Lake Tanglewood, they could actually take that river system, and that actually feeds into the Red River. And so if they could just make it that far, guys, that's not even the 253 miles. If they could just make it that far and make it to the river right here, they could actually follow the Red River all the way over to the Fouke area. And I'm just kind of zooming in and showing you examples of wooded areas and canyons and nooks and crannies that they could be hiding in. So I want to hear your comments. Do you think they could make this journey from the foothills of the Rockies to the Amarillo, Texas area following the railroad systems? Do you think they could, along the way, find abandoned houses that are old farmhouses no one lives in anymore? They're on these, farmyards that no one lives in or anything like that. And do you think they could maybe find old barns, find some canyons along the railroad systems? And then do you think they could actually follow the railroads at night as a general guide to kind of guide them to where they're wanting to go? Here's a zoom in of the intersection of the railroad and the Red River. This is the Newland, Texas area. So once they get to this point, yeah, they can follow the Red River across the southern border of Oklahoma and make their way over to the Fouke area. So, I'm just assuming that once they make it to the rivers, the river systems are going to give them plenty of cover to hide. And so I'm just going to kind of show some examples here as we follow. There's the Oklahoma and Texas border, which is the river. And so as I zoom out, you can see green, and I can see those brown squares like we talked about in the last video, green versus brown. The brown being like the farmland, the sections of the quarter sections of farmland. But yeah, you can see green as I zoom in and out. And a lot of those green areas are wooded areas following the rivers. Yeah, that's a great spot right there. So what do you think, guys? Do you think this is actually possible? What do you think of the railroad system idea? I want to hear your thoughts. So please make some comments on my YouTube channel, or if you're seeing this on my Facebook page, you can comment on my Facebook page, The Squatch Ranger. You can comment on Twitter. I'm on Twitter. I'm on several different social media sites. There's Thackerville, and I know a lot of people are saying a lot of creepy things about the Thackerville area. I just showed that. Here is Lake Texoma. That'd be a great resource, water resource, a great area to hide out for a while as they're passing through. And then they just kind of make their way and journey over here to the southeast Oklahoma, eastern Texas, the Arkansas, Falk area, and then eventually they could go down into Louisiana, into the swamps of Louisiana. So, guys, I want to hear your comments. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Please let me know what you think. Thanks for watching my videos. And I want to thank everybody for all your comments on the last video I did. I got some great feedback. And send me some requests of some other videos you'd like to watch, or thoughts that we'd like to talk about. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it right there. Thanks for watching. What is up, Squatch Ranger YouTube channel subscribers and viewers? You can now visit our online store. Just go to the Squatch Ranger Facebook page and click the Shop Now button, or visit the official website. I will provide a link in the description of this video. You can view many of our different products we offer, such as Oklahoma Bigfoot t-shirts, Oklahoma Bigfoot koozies, or Oklahoma Bigfoot 6-inch car decals. Maybe you would like Bigfoot to visit your birthday party. We can do that too. Please visit our online store to view all of the products and services we provide. Okay, it's now time to get back to Squatch Ranger Files.
Unlock the unknown.
I won't accept it, what the